The locker room walls shook and WWE tried to pretend nothing happened. No music, no cameras, no storyline cushion, just raw chaos when Brock Lesnar and Bron Breakker crossed paths backstage at a WWE Live Event, and what exploded next is people curious, divided, and demanding answers. Because let's be honest, how does the future of WWE nearly come to blows with the most dangerous man in company history on New Year's week? Think about that for a second. Who do you think stepped out of line first, Brock or Bron? Comment one word right now. Eyewitnesses at the arena say the tension was thick long before the curtain even moved. Brock Lesnar, the beast incarnate, pacing like a caged animal. Bron Breakker, explosive, intense, carrying that Steiner blood like it's gasoline. Two alpha forces, one hallway, and absolutely zero room for ego. This wasn't scripted. This wasn't planned. This was pride meeting pride. The story going around is that words were exchanged, sharp ones. The kind you don't walk back. Bron reportedly made it clear he wasn't impressed, that this was his era coming in fast. And Brock doesn't respond well to disrespect. Especially not from someone management has been calling the next big thing. Ask yourself this: if you were Brock Lesnar, would you tolerate that kind of talk from a rookie, even a freak athlete like Bron Breakker? Things escalated fast. Voices raised, people stopped, security tensed, and then one shove. That's all it takes when you're dealing with men built like war machines. Suddenly, producers are rushing in, talent scrambling, and WWE officials desperately trying to keep a full-blown brawl from breaking out in a hallway meant for quiet prep. Here's what should make you angry. This wasn't supposed to happen. WWE has been carefully crafting the vision of future-forward plan built on rising stars like Bron Breakker. But when that vision collides with Brock Lesnar's reality, it starts to crack. Badly. Because what does it say when the old guard and the new blood can't even coexist backstage? Is WWE losing control of its own locker room? Some fans are cheering this, calling it real heat, saying this is exactly what WWE has been missing: authentic tension. Others are calling it reckless, saying Bron Breakker overstepped and nearly sabotaged his own career in seconds. Which side are you on, team reality or team respect? And here's the most unsettling part: WWE hasn't denied it. No official statement, no clear shutdown of the rumors, just silence. And in wrestling, silence is loud. Was this an unplanned disaster? Or is WWE quietly letting the fire burn because controversy equals cash? Imagine the match: Lesnar vs Breakker, power vs power, past vs future. The ring might not survive it. But should it even happen after something like this? Drop a in the comments if you want to see that match. Drop a cross mark if you think it should never happen. Because whether WWE likes it or not, this New Year's backstage explosion has changed everything. The vision didn't just wobble, it imploded. And once fans smell real tension, they don't let go. So ask yourself one last question: was this the birth of WWE's next mega feud, or the moment everything went off the rails? Let me know below, and don't forget who told you first. And that's where this story stops being just backstage drama and turns into something much bigger, something WWE might not be able to control anymore. Because after that near fight, the energy in that building reportedly changed. Wrestlers who were scheduled to go out later that night, distracted, shaken, whispering. When the locker room loses its sense of order, everything feels unstable, and that's dangerous in a business built on timing and trust. Here's a question for you: have you ever heard of Brock Lesnar being held back backstage like that before? Exactly. Brock isn't known for bluffing. When he steps forward, people usually step back. But this time, Bron Breakker didn't. And that's what is veterans quietly talking, not yelling talking. Because whether you love Brock or not, standing your ground against him changes how everyone sees you. Some are saying Bron earned respect that night. Others are saying he painted a massive target on his back. Which one do you believe? And let's talk about WWE's so-called vision. This was supposed to be the era of smooth transitions, legends guiding the next generation, torch passes, mutual respect. But what happens when the torch gets slapped out of someone's hand? Because make no mistake, this clash wasn't just about words. It was about position, about who matters, about who gets the spotlight when the lights turn on. Brock Lesnar represents dominance earned through destruction. Bron Breakker represents dominance promised through potential. What happens when promise challenges proof? Here's where it gets even more uncomfortable. Reports suggest certain WWE officials were furious not at Brock, but at the situation itself. Because moments like this expose cracks WWE works overtime to hide. If fans ever start believing the locker room is divided, the illusion of control disappears. And once that illusion is gone, anything can happen. Do you think WWE should address this publicly or keep pretending it never happened? Now imagine this: weeks go by, no mention on TV, no acknowledgement. But every time Bron Breakker walks down that ramp, the crowd knows. Every time Brock Lesnar's music hits, the tension feels heavier. That's not storyline heat, that's real. And real heat is unpredictable. Some fans are already fantasy booking interference, ambushes, stare-downs. Others are worried this could derail Bron's push entirely. Because history shows us something brutal: WWE doesn't always reward rebellion, even when it's compelling. So here's a tough question: if you were running WWE, would you punish Bron or capitalize on the chaos? Because there's no neutral option anymore. This New Year's brawl, whether WWE admits it or not, sent a message. The future isn't waiting patiently, it's knocking aggressively. And the past, it's not ready to step aside. That's why this moment matters. Not because punches were almost thrown, but because lines were almost crossed. And once those lines blur, the entire industry feels it. So before you click away, answer this honestly in the comments: did Bron Breakker prove he belongs at the top, or did he make the biggest mistake of his career? Ring Rumble is watching closely, because this story is far from over. And here's the part nobody is saying out loud, but everyone backstage is thinking. This wasn't just Brock Lesnar vs Bron Breakker. This was authority vs inevitability, because Brock Lesnar doesn't just represent a wrestler. He represents leverage, power, a man who can walk into WWE, shape the schedule, and leave whenever he wants. When someone like that feels challenged, it doesn't stay personal, it becomes political. Ask yourself this: how many wrestlers in WWE history were allowed to challenge Brock Lesnar without permission? Very few. And that's why this situation is boiling under the surface. After the incident, sources claim there were closed-door conversations. Quiet ones. The kind where names are mentioned carefully and futures are weighed. Bron Breakker's name suddenly carries more weight, but also more risk. WWE loves intensity, until it disrupts the machine. So here's a question for you. Do you think WWE is more afraid of losing Brock Lesnar or losing control of Bron Breakker? Because you can't protect both forever. What makes this even more explosive is timing. New year, new era. WWE is desperate to convince fans that the future is now, that the next generation isn't coming, it's already here. And then this happens. A moment that screams the old guard isn't done yet. That's not a storyline problem. That's an identity crisis. Fans online are already split down the middle. One side is saying Bron Breakker is exactly what WWE needs: raw, fearless, unapologetic. The other side is saying, know your place, earn your stripes, or get buried. Which mindset do you agree with? Because wrestling history is brutal to people who guess wrong. Think about it: how many next big things disappeared after one bad backstage reputation? Talent isn't enough. Strength isn't enough. Timing and politics decide everything. And yet, there's something different here. Because Brock Lesnar didn't laugh it off. He didn't shrug. He didn't walk away unaffected. And that alone tells you this wasn't nothing. Brock doesn't react unless he feels challenged. Let that sink in. If Bron Breakker didn't matter, this wouldn't even be a conversation. Now picture this scenario. WWE ignores it. Moves on. Brock stays Brock. Bron keeps winning. But the tension? It never fades. All it takes is one accidental stiff shot in a match. One stare down at Gorilla. One moment where security isn't fast enough. Do you really think this ends quietly? And here's the scary thought: what if WWE wants it to explode? Because chaos sells. Controversy trends. And nothing gets fans louder than the feeling that something real could go wrong. WWE has spent decades blurring reality and fiction. This situation? It does that all on its own. So let me ask you something simple but important: if this turns into a real on-screen feud, would it feel authentic or dangerously out of control? Comment real or risky below. Because one thing is undeniable now: Bron Breakker is no longer just a prospect. He's a problem, a talking point, a pressure point. And Brock Lesnar? He just got reminded that the future doesn't ask for permission. This New Year's backstage explosion didn't fade away, it planted a seed. And whether it grows into the biggest collision WWE has seen in years, or gets buried before it blooms, depends on what happens next. Stay loud, stay watching, because in WWE, when visions implode, empires usually fall next. And here's where the story twists in a way that should make every WWE fan uneasy. Because once something like this leaks even partially, you can't put it back in the box. Wrestlers talk, agents talk, crew members talk, and sooner or later, fans connect the dots. Suddenly every Bron Breakker match gets analyzed differently. Every Brock Lesnar appearance feels loaded. A shoulder check becomes a statement. A no-sell becomes a warning. Let me ask you this. Have you noticed how fans can sense tension even when commentary pretends everything is normal? That's because wrestling crowds are smarter than ever. They know when something is off. And what's off right now is the balance of power. For years, Brock Lesnar has been the final boss. The wall you don't run into unless you're chosen. But Bron Breakker isn't acting like someone waiting to be chosen. He's acting like someone who thinks he's already arrived, and that scares people, not fans. Backstage, because confidence is celebrated until it looks like defiance. Some insiders believe this moment will define Bron's entire career. Not his titles, not his win-loss record, this reaction, how WWE responds when a rising star refuses to flinch. So answer this honestly in the comments. Do you think WWE rewards fearlessness or punishes it? Now imagine the pressure Bron is under moving forward. Every promo has to hit. Every match has to deliver. Because when you're seen as difficult, the margin for error disappears. One slip and the narrative flips from future face of the company to problem we don't need. That's the danger zone. And Brock Lesnar knows that better than anyone. Which makes you wonder, was this clash just heat, or was it a test? Because Brock has a history of sniffing out weakness. He's been in rings with legends, Olympians, monsters. If he didn't take Bron seriously, he wouldn't have reacted at all. So here's a chilling thought. What if Brock wanted to see how far Bron would go? If that's true, then Bron didn't fail the test. But passing a test doesn't mean surviving the consequences. WWE now stands at a crossroads. They can smooth this over, keep things quiet, protect the image, or they can lean into it and let the tension breathe. Both choices are risky. One risks boredom, the other risks chaos. Which risk do you think WWE is willing to take in 2026? Because the new year didn't just start with fireworks, it started with friction. And friction creates sparks. Sparks create fires. Fires burn plans to the ground. This is bigger than one argument, bigger than one almost brawl. This is about whether WWE truly believes in its future, or is still clinging to its past. So before you scroll, before you forget, drop your final take below. Is Bron Breakker the future WWE needs, or the future WWE isn't ready for? Ring Rumble will be right here when the next crack shows. Because this vision didn't just shake, it fractured.